So Christmas was pretty baller.
Yeah, man. It's pretty cool.
A lot of good stuff. I like that Captain America poster I got. That was kind of fun.
Yeah. Got the text like, hey, what Captain America stuff did you get this year?
Like people call
What
you out
else-
on
what
it.
else
Like,
would you
how
get?
did you know that? Exactly. What else would I get?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week at The Man Panel. And here are your hosts, Jack Lumber and the Green Giant.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 6th week of the Man Panel. I am the Green Giant. Actually, I'm changing my name.
You should.
I am doing it now officially. I have always loved Captain Astro. I can't be Captain America. It's already been taken, so I'm going to be Captain Astro. So that's happening.
Captain Astro came to me and said this. He's like, Christian, you know what? I can't believe I didn't think of this earlier. Like,
Honestly.
I've always been Captain Astro. Why did I pick Green Giant?
I don't know. Someone mentioned green beans to me once, and I think that's where it came from.
I was taken aback. I was like, I don't know why you picked that, because you have always been Captain Astro since college. Like,
yeah, that was a big deal. I mean, all my social media accounts, all my games that I play, it's always Captain Astro. So
in any case, we're
This is
changing his name now.
Captain Astro here with Jack Lumber.
Jack Lumber. I'm going to keep my name because I think it's pretty sweet.
It's a pretty sweet name, and it fits him. It's his personality. It's his demeanor. It's what he's wearing. He is a lumberjack, Jack of Lumber.
Yeah, pretty much. So, anyway, welcome to the 6th episode of the Man Panel.
And we have some manly news today.
Manly news. Christmas happened.
Yeah, that's over. That just happened.
Yeah, so that's about it. I mean,
That's all we have.
If you guys care about news, you probably shouldn't be caring about news and should have just been
Right now.
spending time with your family
Exactly.
at Christmas.
If you're watching the news, you need to. We can help you find better things to do.
Also, coming up in the news, I guess New Year's is going to be here.
New Year's, indeed. Yeah.
So,
there'll be plenty of news in the new
There'll
year.
be plenty of news in New Year.
So-
Lots of crazy people out.
Yeah.
Just don't end up on that.
Don't end up on the news. Don't drink too much
Yeah.
and get up on the news.
If you guys are going to be drinking, drink responsibly, as they always say. And because if you don't, we will find you.
We will find you.
We have 6 whole subscribers.
Pretty
They're
sure.
gonna know about your shenanigans.
Exactly. Yeah.
So-
So don't do anything you shouldn't do to get on the news.
Yeah, we will find you.
And that's what we got.
That's
so,
what we got for news.
Yay, news. Moving on here, we got some. Well, actually, today we had a story. I was sleeping, and out of my slumber, I was awakened by a tweeting. My phone was going off, just freaking out. Turns out our buddy Owen actually goes to our church, called me up and said, "Hey, what you doing?" I'm like, "I just woke up." What are you doing? Oh, I'm gonna go help Nicole move. Now this girl, this lady, it was 3 doors down, and she, I guess, is moving out of the complex that we're in. And so he needed people to help move, and I had just woken up, so I was a viable candidate. And I was like, all right, so I'm gonna go to the gym. No, well, I'll still go later, but this is gonna be part of it.
Yeah, this is a good part of the workout.
And then I sent Jack a text, and I was like, hey, no pressure, but if you're available, it'd be awesome if we had some help, because there's couches and tables and chairs and stuff.
To be honest, I didn't even really read it because at this point I know Captain Astro pretty well, and I read part of it, and I was like, oh, they need extra hands over there, so I went.
So sure enough, he showed up, and no complaints. We loaded a truck full of stuff this morning.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun too. We had some.
We did.
Had some guys over there. Another guy from our church, Bill. He's a riot.
Bill's just funny. He was yelling the whole time.
Funny.
Nicky! He was just yelling.
He was fun. We had some good times. We were outside and there was an ambulance barreling down the street. And,
No sirens, no nothing.
and this was after we were done. And
Right.
Bill was like, "Hey, I didn't call these guys yet. My back is hurting, but I was gonna call in a minute." But,
Yeah.
And then these crazy drivers. Tell them what they did, Captain.
So they're driving by and they're coming on us real close, and as soon as we're they pass us maybe a foot past us, they flip on the sirens and woo, it gets so loud.
Made Owen jump out of his
definitely
skin.
jumped. I didn't see him jump, but I'm pretty sure he jumped.
And Owen's a scary looking dude. He got tattoos all over himself. He's
burly
kind of
man. But he
built,
jumps.
and he jumped.
I jumped a little inside, and I'm pretty sure
like,
Bill was like, "Oh, that was unnecessary." He wasn't shaking. He was just that was uncalled for.
It wasn't called for.
And then
also, what was uncalled for, the cop comes flying down the road at like 900 miles an hour.
seriously, it looked like he was going
Same
to
thing.
fly over the edge of the railing.
Yeah, we all backed away because I was like, if this comes flying through, we're all gonna be.
And
trouble.
that's not the first time that's happened. Apparently,
No.
like there have been other stories about police
apparently-
officers going so fast.
Yeah, apparently there's a high emergency area like right past where we
Right.
live, so there's always cops flying by here.
Flying, yeah.
Any case, I saw it. I don't think anyone else saw it, but this cop he goes by our moving van, and he stops because this guy was like trying to pull out or something, and so this is what bothered me. The police officer stopped and rolled down his window and started yelling at this
Yelling
kid.
at the other guy.
I'm like, sir, aren't you on your way to an emergency? Like, why are you stopping to deal with this guy who made a
Right.
stupid mistake? Like,
Right.
go and deal with the emergency.
Deal with your emergency. Yeah.
Like, be a decent police officer. For crying out loud. You don't need to yell at people
Exactly.
when they make a mistake. You need to respond. That's your job. You're a first responder.
You were a first responder. Yeah.
So that was kind of stupid.
You know, and actually, I mean, like, well, at least he was being safe and stopped at the stop sign or something, you know, because I know you guys were telling a story about how some guy, a cop, actually plowed into a woman in her car. And I mean, like, that kind of sucks, you know, and it was, like, pinned on her. You're like, you know, license and registration, all angry, getting out of the car. I'm like, well, you caused the accident, bro. It happens. But
So here's a bonus tip for you. When you're driving, be situationally aware.
be aware.
Especially if you're going fast. I stopped speeding in the last several years because, you know, we live in Western Pennsylvania. There are deer everywhere. around here. And I used to like to speed in the middle of the night when there's no one around because that was my justification. Be like, you know, I'm going to try to hit 100 on the Parkway,
right.
because there's no one around.
Why not?
I'm gonna be fine, and I've done that. So, but then recently I was like, you know, I'm driving at like 90 miles an hour, trying to push 110 or something like that, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, what if a deer ran out in front of me right now?
Well, that would suck.
That would suck.
It'd be
There
bad.
wouldn't be a lot left of the deer, and there
No.
wouldn't be a lot left of me or my car.
Like a poof of deer meat.
Yeah.
You know? Like, boom.
So that's the thing, and you never know when a car is going to pull out in front of you. My general rule of thumb for me, when I drive, I assume that everyone else is going to do the stupidest thing imaginable, and then I'm ready for anything.
True. And I avoid driving by taking a bus most places.
Yeah.
So if there's an accident, at least it's not my car.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, there's that.
So yeah, be situationally aware. You never know when a kid or a deer or some idiot's going to pull out in front
Pull
of
out
you.
in front of you.
know.
Yeah.
So-
And even though we made a couple cracks at cops, thank you for what you do. We know that you protect and serve all the time, and it's a stressful situation, I'm sure. So thank you for being there and you know, protecting and serving. So.
I got pulled over the other day. The guy, he thanked me for cooperating. I was like, yeah, well, thank you for...
Yeah. I'm not happy right now, but for what you do, thank you. Yeah.
Anyhow.
Cops had it pretty rough recently with all that stuff going on, you know, Ferguson and all those other areas, you know, so they need all the support they can get.
Well, I heard a story about two police officers. They were being chased by like a maniac with a butcher knife.
Holy cow.
And they didn't shoot him
What?
because they were worried about public lashback.
Yeah.
They just let this guy chase him around, and he finally surrendered to them, which I guess was better than him dying, you know. But he's like schizophrenic or something, so he can be
sucks.
he has a chance at getting treatment and all that. But
Right.
it's kind of crazy that the police were afraid to use force on a guy who was trying to kill them. The one cop said, like, I'm getting tired because he was just chasing him around. Imagine a cartoon scenario where he's just chasing
Running in
around the
circles.
table. It's just, that's all it is. And the one cop's just like, you know, I'm getting really tired. We're gonna have to do something.
And I like that. I don't know why, but I'm like thinking now that like maybe we need to get these cops like hand to hand like training, like disarming. I'm sure they do some of that, but like I feel like they just need to be certified ninjas beforehand.
That'd be good.
Right?
Like, get rid of all police training except for
Ninja training.
ninjas. Like any police academy in the United States goes away, and we send people over to become ninja masters in Japan.
Right.
And if they survive, then they can come be police
Then
officers.
they can come be police officers.
And we wouldn't need nearly as many of them. We just need like one guy for a
Right.
department.
I mean, like, and it wouldn't be a first responder anymore. It would be like they would show up in the middle of the activity. Like
Yeah.
they're not responding; they're like just there. They pop out behind my Christmas tree as I'm trying to do something terrible. You know, like whatever it is. Like, pow! You know, they're in your face. Ninja. That'd be pretty
Ninja
cool. Ninja cop.
That'd be a fun TV show or a movie or something like
That'd
that.
be a pretty fun movie.
Ninja cops.
Yeah, America
Yeah.
protected by ninjas.
Yeah. Anyway, my ego was inflated a little bit today at the
This is good.
the
Yeah,
the
the
moving.
event. Yeah.
So we're trying to unhook this washer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to undo the
And yeah,
screws in the back, like to
the
disconnect the
hookups.
hoses from the
Yeah.
water.
Right.
And somebody says, I think we're going to need some pliers. And Bill goes, you don't need pliers. You have a Larson here.
So I go off to get a plier, and meanwhile,
Meanwhile, I reached back and I unscrewed them with
this
my
big
hands.
manly bear paw.
I was very afraid, though, because I was like, man, Bill called me out. If I don't come through here, like, I don't know what's going to happen. People are going to think I'm not actually a Larson.
Not manly.
Not actually
You've lost his Larson.
Strong enough. I don't know. But I did. I managed to.
Sure enough.
Managed to unscrew two pretty tight
It was good. Yeah.
hoses.
I didn't
on
need
back
the,
of
didn't
washer.
need the pliers. Didn't need anything.
I was pretty excited about that.
Well, it's funny because Bill also was going on about how, oh yeah, he's got this. He's a Superman. He was brought up on the Bible and steel,
Yeah,
which definitely plays to the Viking heritage.
it does. And Captain Astro said to me, he's like, I've heard some stories, and your dad did not raise you guys soft.
Not at all.
No, we were raised on like if you did something wrong, you're forced to own up to it, forced to
Yep.
apologize, and then you're forced to bring your own
your own
punishment.
Punishment, yeah.
So my dad would say this: we had these orange plastic sticks
Mm-hmm.
that were really good for spanking. They hurt.
Yeah, as I've heard.
So, and for those of you, I was not abused and never was abused. I thank my dad for spanking the stupidity out of me.
Darn right.
He had very good aim, so he always connected with fatty flesh and never
That's
bone
right. That's what
or
butt was
anything
made
like that.
for, Yeah.
Yeah, so I thank my dad for that. I do not resent them in any way, and I was never abused. So
Yeah, he got spanked, but he had to go get his own stick.
yeah, so my dad would say, "Hey,
Go get your stick.
go get the orange stick. Bring me an orange stick." And you knew this was like Jesus carrying the cross. You're like, "Oh man, I gotta get an orange stick." So
You know
you
what's
knew you were
coming.
in trouble. If you got a chance to pick, you pick something wooden, not the orange stick,
Right.
because those were bad. But if you were really in trouble, he would ask specifically for an orange stick. and he wouldn't go get it. He'd be like just sit and read his newspaper and be like, "Bring me an orange stick.
Bring me
You're
an
gonna
orange stick."
get 3 whoopings when
So
when I'm
nonchalantly,
back
yeah.
here." It was scary
You
and
know what's
terrifying,
going
but it
down.
really worked.
worked
Because
perfect.
now I suffer from a condition known as respect for other people. You guys might have seen that on the internet because I have many times.
Many
and
times.
and I agree to it. Or
So-
with it, excuse me.
Yeah, well, that's definitely valuable. I'll tell you what. I used to have stuff taken away, so it was like, okay, I liked reading and books, so it was really funny because I that's all I would do. I'd stay inside, I'd read books like the Harry Potter series, or I'd read up on science and stuff. Actually, I enjoyed nonfiction as a kid, and I remember my dad would force, if I was in trouble, I would be forced to go outside and play. And it was really funny because I hated it. I was like, I'm outside. I'm like, I have to, I'm riding a bike around, and I'm like, this isn't any fun. Meanwhile, I mean, that's every kid's dream to get in
Yeah.
trouble and go out and play. So I had books taken away. I had, obviously no Nintendos or none of that. And yeah, that was my method of punishment. But I mean, it worked.
Darn it.
Darn the luck.
No, not my
Not
C.S.
my
Lewis books, not my Tolkien
Not my
novels.
Tolkien novels. Which is true, actually. I think I read Lord of the Rings as a kid, too.
Not or in your nonfiction, not my Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, Myths of the Universe or something.
What was his big book called? It's like
I don't
A Brief
even-
History of Everything,
Something like that.
Brief
Yeah, it's like that
History of the
movie that came
Universe.
out, too.
Yeah.
But so speaking of helping people out, that's kind of our tip for the day. Is even though we might have just woken up, and even though we
Maybe had other stuff. to do.
stuff planned, like we're going to do some stuff this morning, make yourself available to help people, even if it's inconvenient.
Yeah.
It's a good place to be. You're going to like it afterwards. Honestly, like I feel quite joyful about giving up some time to help others. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we think that something that a man should be and do is
Absolutely.
be available,
Yeah.
be able to help, be someone that other people can call upon when they need something and they know that you have their back. That's something that men do for each other. Some we do for women and children, anyone who is in need. I think that's a very
manly trait.
pillar of manliness is to
Yeah, it
to
builds
be available.
community.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about before, making friends and stuff. It builds community, and I mean, if you are available and you can help someone, go out and do it.
Yeah, we're not saying like skip your wedding for
No.
for something, but if it's something that can be moved, like we had this morning,
Yeah,
go for it.
move some time around, make help. Yeah.
It's not necessarily our first thing we would like to do in the morning is go help someone move. Like,
Yeah.
couches suck, and trying to take things downstairs and around corners is horrible. But
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, just woke up.
at the end of
I'm
it,
gonna do
like
that.
you've provided
Yeah.
a service to
Very
someone
valuable thing.
who needed it, and
I think
you know,
God's pleased with that. That's a cool thing. I think He definitely values and appreciates that. Like, that was a good deal, son. Well done.
yeah, and sometimes people pay for it, and sometimes they won't. It's completely fine. We were actually offered money today. We turned that down
Absolutely
in
not.
favor of favor of coffee later.
Yeah, at a later date. Yeah, we'll get some
So
coffee.
yeah, we don't think that. I don't think it's something you should ask for.
No.
You can accept it if you want, but I feel like it's just part of the reward is just being there to help someone.
Totally true. And even if you do want like to receive some form of monetary whatever, if it's offered, I mean, general rules. I mean, I grew up with. It's always polite to refuse the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you're not missing out. I mean, because people will continue to offer. I was offered. We were offered at least 3 or 4
twice.
times. But oh, you sure? Like I could, So I mean, even if you do want it, at least try to show some class and reject the first. Like, no, thank you. It's really not necessary. Oh, come on, please. All right, but not whatever. So just at least that. I mean, I feel bad even saying that, but I mean, if you
Yes,
truly
that's a good
do
point.
want it, like at least reject a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Anyway, speaking of, we're just going to keep on flowing with this thing
Yeah.
here. Our encouragement for today: Jesus.
Jesus,
That's it.
done.
That's all. That's all you need.
No. There's more. There's
Just kidding.
more.
Just kidding. So, if you guys, I don't know how many of you read the Bible or have read the Bible or know anything about Jesus' life, but according to those gospel books in there that are widely accepted as first-hand accounts of what he did, even though they were written years after his life, they were still written by people who knew him personally.
Right, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Yep. And even if you guys don't believe in his lordship or godship, then you can't. It's really impossible to dispute the historical aspect of Jesus.
It's true.
And you can learn a lot from just that. We believe he's Lord and Savior. We believe he's God.
Absolutely.
He's changed both of our lives.
Immensely.
So, yeah, immensely. Sometime we're going to have to let Captain Astro tell you about all that stuff, how Jesus got a hold of him.
That'd be really
because
cool,
it's
actually.
awesome.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you mine, too. But that's not what we're here for today. The point is, Jesus can teach us a lot of things, whether or not you believe in him as Savior or just a good man. Both cases, he was completely devoted to other people. He spent, if you read the Bible, he spent nights awake praying for his friends, like instead of sleeping. He would
Right.
spend weeks at a time fasting food to just get closer to God
that.
and
be
be a
hard.
better prophet and servant, And he would go out of his way to heal people, or one of the good ones is he's at a wedding and they run out of wine at the wedding. You guys probably know the story. And his mother asks him, she's like, you can fix this. You know what to do. And he was like, well, that's not really my place or my time right now. So he didn't really want to do this. And it's kind of interesting because now faith comes into it. Mary, Jesus' mother, told the servants, she said, just do anything that he asks. So to say that, she's saying, I trust that Jesus will be able to do this. Do whatever he says, and this will all be better. So it's kind of like stepping out in faith. And Jesus said, even though it's not really my time, even though it's not convenient for me, I'll help. And he was always doing that.
That's right.
Raising Lazarus from the dead, that whole story.
Being rejected by his Father in heaven. I mean,
All the time.
honestly, and then and dying, that kind of thing. Like, he didn't want to do it. And I recall that he actually said those words, like, let the cup pass from my hand.
Yeah, if it's possible, let
Right?
this.
But
let this
your will
get
be
away.
done. I don't want it, but if you do, God in heaven, Dad, then
Yeah.
let it be so. And that'd be tough.
That's crazy. Like
So-
he had some tough stuff to go through. Like, we often think of
did.
Jesus as just a cute little bearded, long hair hippie dude with
right.
kids sitting on his lap.
Carve
But he
school
was
things of wood. Yeah.
he was tough, and he had a
Tough as
rough
nails.
life. He was the epitome of self-sacrifice, and not just in his death on the cross, but on everything.
Right.
And that's where we think that's where we kind of take our example from our tip today. It's not necessarily going to be convenient. It's not necessarily going to be pleasurable or fun,
Right.
but sometimes you just got to give up those things and for the greater good of those around you. And that's what Jesus was. That's what we strive to be.
And in the end, it's totally worth it.
Totally.
So, that's this week's episode.
Yes, sir.
And so I guess we'll see you guys next week. I'll be in Colorado on a family ski trip, so I'll try to get something from out there. And
we're gonna see if I can call in. We'll see if we can make technology work for us.
Yeah, we'll try to make it work. But
anyway,
so that'll be cool. Maybe use video or something. Who cares? We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, yeah. So we'll talk to you guys next week.
All right.
Man Panel out.
Man Panel out.
Bye.